Living Seed Media brings to you God's Word, which is His comprehensive equipment for changing lives. May the Lord impact your heart as you encounter His Word. For further inquiry or counsel, contact Peace House, P.O. Box 971, Boko, Benue State, Nigeria. Telephone numbers 0703 0363659, 0703 7681198. Email address lsmedia@livingseed.org, or visit our website at www.livingseed.org. Let us sit back and listen as the servant of God brings forth the word of life.
ICT. In order to also make us as teachers to appreciate the reason why we must open up our hearts unto this, I need to take us back a little bit into the memory lane that in 1998, I'm sure many of us that are here were used to photography at that time. Photography in 1998 was the world power as far as photography was concerned was Kodak. Kodak had 170,000 employees that were making use of Kodak photo paper, and they were controlling 85% of world photography paper at that time. But do you know that 3 years away from 1998, Kodak had gone bankrupt? And today, several of us here, we are snapping photographs using the digital cameras, to snap our photographs, and we don't make use of photo paper again. Now, if that has happened, then for us as teachers, what will happen to our profession in few years from now? That is the reason why we must key into ICT. Otherwise, we also may go bankrupt, as Kodak went bankrupt after the introduction of digital camera. What is the biblical perspective of ICT in education? In Daniel chapter 1 verse 20, the Bible told us that they were the Hebrews boys that were in Babylon. They were found to be 10 times better in all matters of wisdom and understanding in which they were examined. They were 10 times better than the astrologers and the wise men of Babylon. And that is the reason why we think that as teachers in this age, if we make use of the ICT, it's going to help us to be far better than our contemporaries, and we will be able to get a better output from our learners. Now, there are so many resources all around us that we could make use of. I know whenever we're talking about ICT like this, the first thing that comes to our mind is the gadgets to use. Some of us says we don't have Android phones through which we can connect to the internet. We don't have laptops. We don't have this. We don't have that. But from all that has been happening in the course of our periodical training and this summit, I think something that is very, very key is for us to first accept in our hearts the need to make use of ICT, in order to enhance our teaching and learning. For instance, I have this phone. I don't know how many of us will see this phone from afar. This is Nokia 3110C. I have it for over 10 years. And as it is, it's not even up to the Symbian technology, Symbian operating system. But via Bluetooth or through the cable, I could connect it to the laptop and use it as a modem for browsing. which means that many of the phone that is on our hands that are not even Android, even though we may not be able to browse effectively on those phones, but we could actually use those phones as modem, connect it to our laptop, and we will be on the go, browsing the internet. We have the Internet of Things. Mind mapping helps a lot. Then your desktops is it, and there are a lot of online electronic resources. So what is ICT? It is telecommunications. We make use of telecommunication, broadcasting media, intelligent building management system, audiovisual processing and transmission systems, and then network-based control and monitoring functions. All of them that I've mentioned, they are embedded in the ICT. And we have a picture here where we can see how the phone connects to the web, to the laptop, to different devices, switch, and so on and so forth. So the ICT is only a tool. It's not to replace what we already have, but it's a tool through which we can drive home effectively the knowledge we want to pass to our learners or our students. What is the characteristics of ICT? First, it is associated with speed. And you know, as I gave the example of the Lord Jesus Christ, I don't know whether the number of us that are here were up to some of the crowd that Jesus spoke to during his earthly ministry. But if I should put this off now, you see, you can no longer hear me. And I don't think you are as many as the numbers that we read about, because at a point we learned that it fed 5,000. So there were this huge crowd that Jesus preached to. And you will agree with me that all these gadgets we are using now, they were not there at that time. But something enhanced or accelerated what he was doing. So ICT is associated with speed. It's also an accelerator, either to positive or to negative. It can give you positive impact, and at the same time, it can produce a negative impact. We had the example that our brother just shared with us of one of our students, one of the students in the tertiary institution that died through the connection that happened via the ICT. We also could see that ICT could be very disruptive. It could be destructive and disruptive, especially in impact. And we also see that day by day, the ICT is getting cheaper. Before now, it used to be very expensive to get data, to get even laptops and the likes. But day by day, all of these things are getting cheaper. Then it is neutral. It depends on whose hand it is found. It is neutral. So if, as a Christian, you want to make effective use of it, you can use it to make very great impact. But on the other hand, when it lands in the hand of some other people that are not projecting Christ, but that are projecting Satanism, they can use it. For instance, many of us that we are here now, maybe they are wrong crèche or pre-nursery. We make use of cartoons. And in those cartoons, what do we see there? Tom and Jerry. Somebody running after the other. The children are being taught revenge or witchcraft. That is because the hands of those people where this ICT has been, that they found it in their hands, they have decided to use it to project darkness. So for us as teachers, if we lay hold on it properly, we can actually use it to project the kingdom of God. Next. All right, so I've talked about this before. So we can see all of those gadgets, the phone, the laptop, and then the world, which is a globe, the switch on that other side. So all of these are gadgets that are used, in ICT. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, I've already run through this. I told you it's associated with speed. It's an accelerator, either positive or negative. It's destructive and also disruptive. It gets cheaper day by day, and it is also neutral. It depends on whose hand it's found. Next. Now, the familiar uses of ICT. It aids in teaching and learning. For example, open education, online learning platforms such as edx.org, coursera.org, etc. We find ICT use, we use it in programming, in web development, in the health sector. Now, in the Western world, there are apps that we do diagnosis. In actual fact, it's becoming a big challenge now that if you should just go and read law or medicine, you only will be able to survive after you have gone into specialization. Because actually there are apps that you can interact with that can diagnose and tell you what is wrong with you and also prescribe, what to use as drugs. So we have it relevant in the health sector, in agriculture, in business, in the transport industry, in the developed world. Anywhere you are, you can just go to Uber, which is a website. Now they own millions of cars, even though they do not own any, actually, but they are in control of several millions of cars, that you can just call upon and it will take you from one place to the other. We also have its familiar uses in law profession as well as data analysis. United Nations Educational and Scientific Organization, UNESCO, says that ICT can complement, can enrich, and transform education for the better. And we have this website where we can see all of this. Now, when we talk about ICT in education, we can see it as an object. We can see it as an assisting tool. We can also see it as a medium for teaching and learning, as well as a tool for organization and management in school. We have many of these websites that we can consult. Now, incorporating ICT into administration of schools, school administrators can use this effectively for communication between school and parents and even students. I went to one of the schools where my daughter was some time ago, and right on the desk of the principal, she was making announcement right on her table. She was making announcement to all the students in the school, numbering over 2,000. That is ICT for you. So it can enhance communication, and we can even use it to communicate with parents. I know that today many schools have parent-teacher platform, WhatsApp group, through which information are disseminated to parents. Many of our schools, the PTA meetings are announced through WhatsApp or SMS and the likes. We can use it for announcement. It can keep alumni abreast of development in their alma mater. Usually Facebook, blogs, and Twitter helps in doing that. Now, the teacher needs the ICT first for personal enhancement. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15, it says, study to show thyself approved, a workman that need not to be ashamed, but rightly dividing the word of truth. Personal enhancement. I need to tell us at this point that if you must communicate effectively with your students, then you've got to be in their world. You can't be out of their world and you want to communicate effectively with them. I know for many of us, we are even ICT, either we are ICT illiterate or we are ICT immigrants, and yet we want to teach students that are computer natives. Their native language is computer. For instance, your child that is 3 years, 4 years old, when he carries your phone, you are wondering how the child is able to navigate and make use of several functions on that phone, which you have been using for 3, 4, 5 years or so, and you can't do many of those things. So it is their own native, whereas you are either an immigrant or you are even an illiterate. So how do you relate with them? It's just like any teacher now coming with slates in this age. You know that you have already lost your audience. So in a similar manner, if you are going to be teaching students who are computer natives, then you've got to buckle up yourself to ensure that you are able to relate with them at a level where learning can easily take place. Now, the teacher also needs the ICT for research, for more global than local. Then, lesson preparation. Our teaching must meet international benchmarks. So it is the ICT that will help us to be able to meet that. Then we also need it for content development. And in content development, it must reflect current topics in the discipline, not archaic. ICT facilitates flexible learning, timeless learning environment, global perspective. It encourages collaborative learning, and it's also learner-centered. It facilitates learner-centered teaching. Now, our brother mentioned earlier that it encourages collaborative learning. You know, when we were having the workshop yesterday, we're discovering that if in your area of your subject discipline, you are having some challenges, you can actually, through the ICT, connect with other people in other parts of the world. Either some of us that are here that will have exchanged contact before we leave this summit, or through the internet, we can access and collaborate to be able to bring whatever we want to teach to our students to their level. We also say it facilitates learner-centered teaching. And it facilitates e-learning, which identify clearly the aims and objectives of learning. It outlines specific objectives. It articulates learning outcome, that is, measurable competencies and skills, and their substance and form. Now, what are the components of learning outcomes? The cognitive, that is the applied knowledge. The affective, that is the attitude. And psychomotor, the practical skills. ICT can help us to bring out all of these components effectively, because you can apply the knowledge that the student have before. You can tap into it, bring about behavioral change as well as practical skills. Now we aim at practical skill acquisition. We can see this student in the laboratory. You know very well that some of these things may not even be available in our own local or rural settlements. But then, through the ICT, we can actually show many of the concepts or objects to our students by downloading some videos, pictures, and the likes. Maybe you have a student who has never seen, a switch before, or a mouse, or a computer, or this and that. It is not all of these gadgets that we have in our schools. But through the ICT, we can actually get them and show them to our students, and they will be familiar with it, and learning will be taking place. Now, the application of knowledge for the improvement of environment. Now, from the mind, it can affect the behavior, the mood, and the body in an environment. So the ICT help us that within our environment, we can appeal to the mind of the student, make learning to take place that will bring about behavioral change. His mood can be affected as well as his body, all encompassing. We have created space. You can see all of this. There are many things in our environment. As many of us are sitting here, we have ATM in our bags, which we can bring out. We can see ATM. We can see many things here that are gadgets of ICT that we can actually use to enhance our teaching and learning. The Internet of Things, you will see that virtually every field of life is today driven by ICT. You can see up there the key, the phone, bicycle, aeroplane, and so on and so forth. All of these are, they are gadgets that ICT bring for us that we can use to engage in teaching and learning. Then mind mapping, we can visualize our thought. Now, we can visualize our thoughts. Some of the things through this website, which we will show some of them. We will not be able to show the website during this presentation. But for this particular one, mind mapping is a great tool for learning, which is usable by teachers, by researchers, and students. You can check the MindMaster application online, and then we can also make use of Google web app for mind map. So some of the things that are happening in your thought or the thought of the student, we can easily visualize them through this mind mapping. Have Edutopia, where we have resources toolkit for new teacher. It can help us with classroom management. It can help us working with parents, lesson planning, learning environment, and so on. So we also have resources toolkit for new teacher, which I mentioned earlier. Then we have test.com, which allows for free registration. It can, for social media, you can also post and sell your teaching resources on this platform. So this is the lesson resources. We are going live now to show. So I want to teach what? So pick a subject.
Room, can you please go to test.com via Google so that teachers can know how to reach it? We are going live now to see some of the resources that you can actually use to make your teaching and the learning that is taking place in your class very effective. So deliberately we want to quickly show you just a few of the pages that we have and how you can harness some of these resources that will actually help us to achieve learner-centered learning. Resources that are available that will help us to be able to bring forth materials that will anchor learning for the students. And they are richly available on some of these sites. So we'll quickly look at this. Can you go to Google? Have you gone to Google? Control room.
Start it again, please.
Go to Google. Go to Google. I said go to Google. Control room. Can you go back to Chrome and open Google? We want to show teachers how to get into test.com via Google search. Yes, this is a new tab in Google. Just wait. This is a new tab in Google. Now click on the look Google or type URL. Move your mouse down. Click on the look Google or type URL. Under where the Google search is supposed to be done. Down. Not up there. Yes. So now, are we watching? So when you open Google and you want to find test.com where you can get resources from, you type test, T-E-S. Can you go ahead and type it now? So once you start typing, it takes you to that search bar. Press enter and let's see what it gives us. You can add educational resources to it to refine your search. Okay, he has not connected, all right. Okay, now, can you redo that again? Okay, so it's connecting to test.com now. And here we are. This is the first page you will see. And from here, you can access various resources that are available. Can we click on resources? You say, I want to teach. Which subject do you want to teach? Okay, let me be biased. Let's pick maths. All right, now, can you see we have early years, that's kindergarten, less than 5. We have primary, we have secondary, we have special needs, and all that. You could pick a number. There are about 7,000 resources here. Sorry, 700,000 resources. So, now, we just want to show us how to get here. We will leave you to go and do your search by yourself. All right, you can just click on secondary. Let's see what's happening in secondary. All right, these are different materials for secondary. And there are lots and lots of them there for secondary school learning. All right, thank you very much. Let's go back to our slide.
Okay, so can we go back to our slide? Control room. Oh, okay, now so from here, like we said, we have over 700,000 resources. That's what you are seeing there. Search 700k plus resources. So, and underneath it, you will see early years, primary, secondary, and it goes on and so forth. So you can actually go there at your own level and get resources. I think we saw when the subjects were scrolling, English, mathematics, geography, biology, every subject you can think of, you know, you will get it there. But I'm not sure whether your Igbo or Hausa will be there. Because this is not locally developed. And of course, as time goes on, we will also develop ours. Alright, so can we go to the next slide, please? So another place where we have more resources is the teachers first. Thinking teachers, teaching thinkers. And we have that website, but because of our time, we will not go there. So we have, okay, this is how it looks like, and we can go there also to get many resources. You want to get the website, you don't need to bother yourself to write. Before you eat your dinner today, this presentation will be in your email box.
I hope you have email addresses that you gave to us.
If you have email address, you will get it. But if you do not, you trust God for a miracle.
Okay, WhatsApp. All right, we'll see whether we can send it to your WhatsApp.
Okay, so this is how Teachers Fest looks like. Now, can we go to the next slide? Then we also have teaching ideas.
We are going live on teaching ideas also quickly.
So teaching ideas. So also from Google, you type it. As you start typing there, it takes you to the address bar.
All right, so this is teaching ideas. We are live on teaching ideas. We are on the internet now, and we are live on teaching ideas. These are the resources available for first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. This gives a lot of focus more on the nursery, primary section. So we could click on anything. Let's look at science, for example, under teaching ideas. All right, let's look at animals and habits. All right, can you see? Here you could have things that practically show some things that you would have loved to teach in science, but you might not have them hands-on with you. And you could go here and get a lot of resources. You could download some PDFs and so many things. There could be some multimedia that you could actually use that will help you through many of the things. That's a view of space. Can we look at looks now? Quickly. And we must run from here. Left of your screen. Go to the left of your screen. The first view button. No, not there. Looks now. No. I'm not saying you should go out. Go back to the slide. To the yes. Now click view. Not that view. The one on the left. Yes. Now, space is something that is difficult to explain in our environment here. Yes or no? But you can have videos that will actually show you some things about space and Earth from space and all that. These are videos that you can actually click on. Click on that animated GIF and let's see what happens with that. No matter how hard you try, you can't find local materials to describe space, can you? No, you cannot. But ICT makes it possible for you to have videos that help you to see what exactly happens out there. There are videos that have been recorded and all that. Okay? Thank you very much. I think we must just stop there. We can't show so much of that now. Let's go back to our slides. We must run.
So after teaching ideas, we move to the next slide. Primary school. So we also have this from where, yes, from here. So we have primary school resources here, and the website is there. We have told you that we will share this with you, so you also will get the URL, and there are many resources there. Can you go to the next slide? Yes. So now we have Commonwealth of Learning. This is very, very rich. And you can see the website there, www.col Commonwealth of Learning. The C for Commonwealth, O for of, and L for learning.org. So we will go live so that we can see how this works. So you also start from a new tab. You type https www.col.org. Enter.
Now it's not compulsory you type the www. You can just type COL. And it will take you there. This is the site live. We are live on the site right now. Commonwealth of Learning. There are lots and lots of resources available. Online learning possible. Organized by Commonwealth. There are so many resources available online that we are completely ignorant about. And they will do a lot to help us develop both ourselves and equip us to be able to help our students even better. Can you please go to resources available on COL? Yes. Teacher education, yes. Now, there are programs available on COL for teacher education as a whole. There are lots and lots of them. Please scroll down. These are online training for teachers going on in different parts of the world, organized by COL. Now, all right. Calm down. Yes, key resources. The critical resources that you can see there: quality assurance toolkit for teachers, educational institution, and the guidelines. Teacher education through open and distant learning. Digital learning, reforming teacher education to promote access, equity, and quality in substance, and all that. And MOOCs, and all that. There are some, and there's the Commonwealth certificate for teachers. ICT integration. All these are available for us on this site. Now, we will not be able to go beyond that. Now, you can always go here and take a tour of all this and get all the resources available for you. Thank you. Now we can go back to our slide.
Okay, so we move to the next slide where we talk about curricula for ICT in education. There are a lot of ICT courses ranging from MIS, programming, software application, data analysis, and all of this that is available online. We can see the curriculum and develop them. Next slide, please. How about research tools? So there are many that are also available for us, with the use of ICT. And we will now be showing many of those research resources. We have this researchresources.info. There are many resources there that will be useful for us. We have the Harvard Research Resources. I'm already gone to the next slide. Okay, we have the Harvard Research Resources.
We'll quickly go live here. Control room, can you go live for us on Harvard? Okay. It's still the same process. You go through Google, you get here, and you can have a lot of I would have just preferred you to type Harvard resources. But all right, this is the site. And there are lots. This is much even peculiar for those of us that are taking our education further beyond the undergraduate degree to masters and PhD and all that. And for those of us that are from the university, there are resources here that helps you to do quality research, guide you effectively. And there are tons and tons of things that you can do from this site that helps you to do a better job even in the university. You could collaborate with people from across the world. You don't need to walk in a corner, and you don't need to be ignorant of what is happening across the world. And you could get to learn about so many things from across the world from such sites like this. There are many of them, but we will just be highlighting a few of them for us to see. And I'm sure many of us have Harvard, one of the top universities in the world. Educational training. Can you click on educational training for us? Learning opportunities. Just click on one of them, online learning, and then we will leave here. All right? Now, these are different courses available for online learning. There are times they are starting times they are closing their duration. From certificates in applied biostatistics to clinicals, there are so many. So you don't have to be limited just with the confines of your educational institution. You don't have to be limited just to the knowledge that exists within the confines of your institution. You can actually get to be abreast with anywhere else in the world by making yourself available to access such materials like this that are freely available online at no cost. At no cost. All right, I think we'll go back to our slide now. Thank you.
Okay, so the next slide is what we have just talked about. We can also find funding to support our research, and then we can find researchers with whom to collaborate, and then we can explore research trends within the Harvard Catalyst community. So all of these are possible through the Harvard research resources. If we also in need of data, we can get data from that same resources. Now, your word processor. There are great tools concealed that many of us are not familiar with as we go through even some of the basic tools that are available to us. Check the toolbar on top of your screen. Play around with the icons and names. So, from here now, I'm sure that we are familiar with this page. Can you then go live? So this is live now. Though not on the internet, it's directly on the desktop. Now there are a lot of features on the taskbar that we are not used to. For instance, you are doing a seminar paper or project. There are tools here that can help you do your table of content, help you with referencing, help you with footnotes, and so on and so forth. So there are many resources on our word processor. In a similar manner, though maybe for those that came to PET, some of the resources we'll be sending, we can also do a lot of spreadsheet works on Excel or other spreadsheet applications. The computer can help you to. I know what many of us do when we are preparing the report sheet. We sweat a lot, but we can make use of ICT tools. Is there, it can help you to do your average, can help you with percentage, can help you with position. If you already have the result of the student, you just need, within 1-2 seconds, it can help you sort them alphabetically or sort them based on their performance, and with some tools here, it can also give you the position. First, second, third, it can give you, if you want those that score above 60% to be colored green or red or what have you, all of these are possible with Excel spreadsheet or other spreadsheet applications. So can we go back to the slide? Next slide. Now, so we have networks, blogs, research, and news that are made available. We have this website, dualmasters.org, where there are 50 social sites for education and academics. This is how it looks like, but because of our time, we will not go live here. Can we go to the next slide? Resources that are available. There are resources for networks, such as researchgate.net. There are millions of articles, because today now, many researchers have put their articles on ResearchGate. All my publications are on researchgate.net. You create your own profile, you upload your materials, and you can search and even connect with other researchers. Once you specify your area of research, it begins to bring suggestions to you, to other people in other parts of the globe that are in that same research area. Then we have resources for research such as cos.edu, sciencemart.org, sciencedirect.com, academia.edu, and so on and so forth. Then for news, we have sciencecentral.com, science news, and so on. This is how ResearchGate looks like. You can do advance your search by specifying certain other parameter to make your search. We don't have time to go live. Then Research Professional. This is how it looks like. This is a place where we also can get lots of coverage on global news, coverage on science, technology, and innovations. Then there are a lot more resources for personal development, that is acquisition of skill or impartation of knowledge. Platform to occupy for Christ that are available. We will just show some of them in a short while. Now, so the Christian teacher needs the ICT because ICT is a global phenomenon. That is why, I told you earlier that if Kodak went bankrupt, having had over 170,000 employees, and within the space of 3 years, all of that was gone because of the introduction of digital camera. Now, it also means that if we will survive in this teaching profession, then we need the ICT to drive our teaching and learning. Now, so ICT is a global phenomenon, and what is our mandate as Christian? Our mandate is Matthew 28 verse 18 to 20. Take the gospel to only your village, to where? Whole wide world. WWW. In another concept. Anyway. Yes, next slide please. So we can impart godly attitude. Philippians 2 verse 5. It says, think on these things. So we can impart godly attitudes to our students if we employ the use of ICT, and it will be very, very effective. Now we have some useful websites for teachers, sites for teachers, theteacherscorner.net, Teachers for the Heart, an aggregation of education websites for teachers also, ed.ted.com, where we have free educational websites for teachers and learners in all subjects, and it's very strong in educational videos. Then useful site continues. SNOW, Special Needs Opportunity Window, snow.idrc.oka.car, is dedicated to inclusive education and accessible technology. We also have free technology for teachers, freetechforteachers.com, which is an updated blog that addresses technological issues in education. Then forteachers.org, as I pronounce it, forteachers.org, is a site with a blog on trends with teaching technologies. So these sites which we have mentioned take care of teachers in the 3 main tiers of education, which is primary, secondary, and tertiary. We also have resources for research, 7 great online research resources for writers, which we have at dailywritingtips.com. Then we have resources for research ethics education, researchethics.net, and upcoming research conference. If you are looking for research conference, you can get that in eresearch.ac.za, and there are many others, conferencealert.com, conference, and so on and so forth. Then Opencourseware educational resources for teaching, learning, or research materials that are in public domain. So you have this link which you can access by the time you receive the material that we'll be sending to you. Now, just to mention a few, we have Massachusetts Institute of Technology that have Opencourseware, ocw.mit.edu, then College Open Textbooks, collegeopentextbook.org, Khan Academy. There are a lot of resources also there that cut across all these tiers of education we have mentioned. Then academicearth.org, that is another one. Then African Virtual University, it has very good material for secondary and university level education. oer.avu.org. Now we will just show some of them. MIT Opencourseware, this is how it looks like. Unlocking knowledge, empowering minds. So there are lots of resources in this Massachusetts Institute of Technology that we can get a lot of courseware. Course finder, you put the area you want and then you can get all of that. The College Open Textbooks, which I have mentioned. Then Khan Academy, next. Khan Academy, you can learn anything. You just put what you want to learn about there and on the go, you begin to get such. This thing continue on Khan Academy. Then Academic Earth, Rethink Education. Find an accredited college. You can select a degree, you can select a category or subject area and search on the right hand side. How about searching for resources? The easy way to go is to Google it. There are millions of resources on the internet. Anything you can think of, even our local languages, they are already there. For instance, sometimes I'm checking a proverb. Maybe I'm not getting the second component of the proverb. You just go there. Or you are looking for him or resources for teaching. All of it are there. But you know, Google is not all. You must also have a search strategy. You must determine what you need, determine your search terminologies, and be ready to juggle your search terms, and then refine your search terms. E.g., easily available general dictionary, subject dictionaries, subject encyclopedia, and thesaurus. All of these can give us resources. In the previous slide, when we said you can refine your search terms, previous slide. Yes. Now, when you put, if you put, let's say quadratic equation in Google, it will bring for you hundreds of thousands URLs or websites. So sometimes you need to narrow down on what you are looking for in order for you to be able to get it easily. So that's what we mean by saying that you must be able to determine search terminology. So if I'm going on the net to look for resources on quadratic equation, there are different aspects of quadratic equation. Maybe I'm looking for factorization method, or I'm looking for graphical method, or I'm looking for word problem in quadratic equation. You know, you must be able to refine your search with some terminologies, and by the time we begin to go deeper, we also can talk about the usage of braces and quotes. Sometimes when you put quotes, quote and unquote, what you are looking for, it restricts to that search terminology that you have used, rather than bringing everything that contain the words. You can practice it when you get home. When you get on Google, you can make use of braces. That's the braces bracket, before and after your terminology, and then you can also use quote and unquote and see the difference that it will produce. Okay, can we go live, please?
Yes. Control room, let's go live. Open a new Google page. Okay, now just type quadratic equation. Quadratic. Press enter. Now, it started by telling us the history and the definition of quadratic equation. Quadratic equation in Wikipedia, quadratic formula explained, and all that. There will be lots. Scroll down. Let's see.
Before scrolling down, how many thousands at the top?
Okay, go back to the top.
Go back to the top.
Let's see how many. 2. What's that digit? That's about 20 million, isn't it? How many results are we seeing there?
Can you increase the
Use magnifier, please.
control plus? More. Just one more. That is how many zeros?
We have 20 million results. That's too much for you to go through. So now,
in 0.41 seconds.
So can we refine the search now and add perhaps factorization method or completing the squares? No, just add. We want to know how to solve quadratic equation. Use factorization method. Press enter. Okay. Now can you see that a different view comes to us? And it's getting closer to what we're actually what?
Increase it.
Looking for. Yes.
Now,
solving quadratic equation by factorization.
432,000.
So if you click it, it will take you further and other. And if you want
these are videos
yes,
on how to solve using factorization methods. So can we then now go and put quote and unquote to refine the search before and after? Before. So increase for us to see now. So only 132 results. So from 432,000, no, from 20 million to 432,000. When will you finish going through 432,000? You will never be able to finish it, and there will be a lot of junks in it. But now it has narrowed it down to 132. So in this refined search now, you will now have more substantial resources that is relevant to your search. Okay, so please, can we go back to our slide where is just scrolling for us to see? So it is good that you know what you are looking for. So you must determine what you need, determine your search terminologies, and be ready to juggle your search terms and refine your search terms as well. So for reference material, we have gone through this. Then we can go to you. If you need help, you can use search engine, the search engine list.com. There are general search engines like Google, Bing, AltaVista, Ict, and so on and so forth. There are also subject search engines such as compass.com for business, lexisnexis.com, martindale.com for law, and so on and so forth. Then you must watch out for plagiarism. We must avoid plagiarism. Plagiarism is becoming a very serious challenge in this part of the world now. So how do you avoid it? You must always acknowledge the sources of anything you are writing, anything you are putting up. You must always acknowledge the source. And you'll have seen that many of the pictures that we show, we acknowledge where they were gotten from, and even the dates will access those websites. Then you must save your links. You must save your links. You must submit your work to plagiarism detectives such as Turnitin and so on. So this is the web link for Turnitin. Then preparing bibliographies. As you access resources, copy and paste the links on a prepared reference page. And you must include the dates if those resources are gotten from the internet. Like this now, academicaid.org. We accessed it on August 3rd, 2018. Then you should also learn to use bookmarks. Bookmarks mean that site you have gone to it, you bookmark it on your browser so that at another time when you come back, you can easily go there. Can you just go back live? So let's show. Okay, now we have gone through so many websites today. Can you just right click on any of the tab, right click, bookmark up.
Can you use magnifier so that we can see what you're doing?
It won't have amplified the right click. Bookmark all tabs. All right. So it's asking, what name do we want to call this bookmark? ICT seminar. Name it ICT seminar. So it's been saved. Okay, save. Now all the pages we have visited in the course of this presentation, all of them have been bookmarked. That is, those pages have been saved. The URL have been saved. And at any point, if you cannot remember what you did last week or something, if we just go click on bookmarks, yes, bookmarks. Now ICT seminar, where is it? ICT seminar. Okay, scroll to the right so that it can, yes. So these are all the pages we have visited today. And you can just click on any of them and it will reload even after you have shut down your system for several days or months. Once you have bookmarked it, it is there. You can easily come back there. Alright, can we go back to our slide, please? Alright, next. So how about our referencing styles? There are different disciplines and publisher demand different referencing style. So you must know the referencing style suitable for your work and you must keep to it. Major referencing style are adapted from this website. We don't have time to show it. So now we want to talk about social media. Our time is fast spent. Now, for social media, it's meant to be a bridge between the formal communication and instant messaging. It gives us events as they happen. It gives us announcements, and there are over 200 of them. But you can see them. There are over 200 of them. But as you all know, that the social media today is becoming a huge source of distraction and even disruption. So we've got to be very careful and limit the kind of social media we partake in. More common media, we have the Skype for real-time face-to-face correspondence. There are many times when people will need to do interview and they are not available. You can do interview. We conducted interview for PhD students in February, and my PhD supervisor daughter was getting married, so my machine was inside my bag, and in the reception when it was time, 2 o'clock was the time for the interview, The candidates were in Abuja. I was in Lagos, University of Lagos. And then some of the panelists were in, I think, Russia and Spain. And I just left the wedding reception, entered a classroom, put on my computer, and through Skype, we were interviewing the candidate for PhD, and that was how we did it. So Skype allows us that. We have Facebook, Twitter, blogs, LinkedIn for professional outreaches, and so on. Online discussion group, list service or listserv, essential technical, which focuses on issues germane to members of the group that can make for growth and progress. Then getting involved, you must sign up, then you must participate. You don't have to speak. Proverbs 10:19, in the multitude of words. However, when you do speak, go beyond agreeing with a previous comment, make definite and uniquely progressive input. Managing accounts, keep your identity number secure. Always remember to sign out of any account you open. Create a folder for your access codes. Store them in a file. Write them out manually. What if your account was hacked? Immediately change your password. What groups do I join? Select your group based on need, present and future. Continue education, skill acquisition, and technical support. What gadget do we need? Internet-ready mobile phone, which does not have to be very expensive. I showed you this earlier. And then from this, I rarely use it now, but I brought this is actually what I use for phone communication in Boko. Once I'm in Boko, I disconnect from the world, only those who I want to reach me. But from there, I move on to this one, which is Android. Then we have the laptop, desktop, tablet, voice audio recorders, digital projector, screen. Then getting connected through the internet or internet facilitated by your institution or internet that are necessary, and so on. Making effective presentation, you must take advantage of open source presentations such as WPS presentation and so on. Then, why do you need to be connected? You must respond to mails as it is. Access to international teaching, research, and learning resources, regular updates on your specialization, then solving problems online.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you. How did it go? You want more? Yes, but we need to stop somewhere. As you can see, there are enormous resources, potentials. We'll go with ICT. What we've tried to demonstrate, and let me say this, that this group took very diligent study of our peculiarity, our need, and resources available. Those that can enhance learning, those that can be distractive, disruptive, and destructive. And we made sure that God helped us to be able to bring out this. So we assure you that this will be available. If you check your email anytime from this evening, by the grace of God, you will have this available. So the links are there. They have been updated. The web links, what he was referring to as URL, the Universal Resources Locators, they are available and you can yourself click. At the end of the presentation, can you please move to the end of the presentation? The end of the presentation.
The last slide, control room.
Yes. On the last slide, we also have our email addresses. In case you want some further person-to-person or person-to-group interaction online, we are available to respond to your questions and queries. As we said, these resources will help us, whether it is in the constructivist theoretical perspective or whichever theories that we are using to be engaging students. It's collaborative, and you need to yourself be sharpened. ICT can actually shape these students today to become what God wants them to be. Yesterday we got a testimony about how a student from Calvary Arrows has become an international figure. And I can assure you it's not just one from this particular school. It's not one. Many of them have gone to competitions abroad because of the appropriate uses of ICT. And if they can do that, can we also replicate this in our different schools? Yes, we can. Now, Boko looks rural. And there are more rural communities. Some of us come from better communities in terms of access to technology, to networks. So let's make use of these things. They are available. We try to simplify them so that you don't throw up your arms and say, no, I cannot even afford it. If it is matter of going online, you may require some little data, and the cost is not much. If it is gadgets, you have been shown that even the little phone you can use. So we want to thank you. We will have loved to take questions, but we know if we ask for questions, we will have to remain here for a while. We have other serious matters that we will engage later on in the day. At this point, we want to rise up to pray. Can we rise? Can you just thank God for the availability of these resources that are available for engaging ourselves in productive teaching? We have been talking about fruitfulness. We have been talking about shaping and sharpening. These resources are available and they can help to shape us, to shape our students, and also to sharpen us. Can you pray that God will help you? If you have had a phobia, God is ready to break this down because He has given us all things freely to enjoy. Whatever skills that you need, God is also able to endow you. You can ask God even for help in terms of your attitude to ICT. Perhaps you think that your school actually needs these things, but you don't have the wherewithal. You can pray even now, and I can assure you God is here to answer your prayers. Ask Him what you need, and He's going to grant you. From here, we are going to be more productive. We are going to engage ourselves. We are going to engage our students fruitfully. In Jesus' name, we have prayed. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this great and wonderful opportunity that you have granted us to see that even the tools that you have placed on our fingertips, we can use them to bring out fruit for righteousness. We want to ask, O Lord, that as we rise from here, you will grant us more understanding. You will provide us the needed resources, and that we will have access that will enable our young people to be fully grown and fruitful, that even ourselves will be properly shaped and sharpened to bring out fruit unto holiness. Thank you, Father, because of all that you have done and what more you will do as we engage with ICT, because we have prayed in Jesus' precious name. Amen.